You know, that feeling, right? That really strong mix of excitement and maybe just a little bit of apprehension. When you're planning or starting an international trip, you've got the passport, the tickets, everything's packed. But there's still that little voice like, will I actually feel, prepared, confident navigating in English? Well, that's pretty much our mission today on the deep dive. I want to give you a really practical toolkit for travel in English, turning those little potential stumbles into smooth interactions. We're basically distilling the essentials from our sources. So today, we're doing a deep dive into 15 essential English phrases for travelers. And this isn't just like vocabulary list, it's about empowering you so you can not just survive, but actually, thrive on your next trip. Think of them as your linguistic superpowers, maybe.
Precisely. And what's really fascinating here is these aren't just words, they're keys, really. Keys to unlock experiences. Doesn't
Yep.
matter if you're landing in a huge hub like New York or London or maybe somewhere totally unexpected. These phrases, well, they're designed to have your back, help you navigate with confidence.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this. Picture it. You've just landed. You're maybe a bit jet lagged, but excited.
Yeah.
What are those first critical moments where English is your lifeline? Let's start with, well, the basics. Getting by. Our first phrase. We're calling it the magic phrase. It's so simple. Could you help me, please?
Yeah.
Seems basic, right? But what makes this one so powerful, so effective?
It's powerful because it's so versatile. I mean, think about it. Could you help me? Isn't just stating a need. It's an invitation. People are generally, much more willing to help when they feel genuinely asked, not just presented with a problem. It sort of humanizes the whole thing instantly, whether you're lost in an airport trying to figure out a train schedule or just, I don't know, looking for cereal in a supermarket. It's fundamental.
Okay, so you've asked for help, feeling a bit more grounded. But what about the next step? Getting from A to B. This next phrase is pretty direct for transport. Where can I find a taxi?
Yep, it's direct, clear, it works. Now, there's a little cultural thing here. If you're in the UK, you might hear people say, "Where's the taxi rank?" Which is fine there, but try saying rank in the US. Well, people might think you're talking about a bad smell or something. Seriously.
Oh, right. Didn't think of that.
Yeah. So just for clarity, to avoid any mix-ups, sticking with "where can I find a taxi" is always, always the safe bet.
Good tip. And sometimes, wait, before you even launch into asking for directions or help, you need to know if you can even communicate, right? So asking politely, do you speak English? It seems obvious, but just that simple question, that opening, it can really make or break things, can it?
It really can. And it's not just what you say, but like how you say it. Maybe a little pause, an open gesture, a softer tone. These things signal respect, openness. They invite a good response before you even finish the sentence, the mistake. Sometimes people rush it, or worse, they kind of raise their voice.
Yeah, like they expect the person should speak English.
Exactly. It comes across as demanding, not inquiring, starting politely just. It sets a much better tone for the whole interaction.
Right. Okay, so you've landed, you've maybe found a taxi, you've established communication. Now let's talk about managing your stay, settling in. First up, I have a reservation. Super useful for hotels, obviously, but also restaurants, maybe even activities like escape rooms.
Definitely. And here's a really crucial bonus tip. I've seen this save people so many times. Always, always keep a screenshot of your booking confirmation.
Oh, smart. Why is that?
Because sometimes systems glitch or they just can't find it for whatever reason. And that little screenshot, it becomes your proof, your lifeline, saves you from a potentially really frustrating start.
Makes sense. Okay, so you're checked in, maybe you're getting hungry, time to explore the local food scene. Our next phrase is just polite and essential. Can I see the menu, please? Definitely better than other methods.
Oh, absolutely. Because, pointing at someone else's food across the restaurant
Yeah, maybe leaning over.
and saying, "I want that,"
Yeah.
might seem, I don't know, efficient. But it's generally frowned upon. Asking politely is just, it's essential. Good manners, smooth experience.
And what if the menu is overwhelming? Or you just want to try something genuinely local. Then you use, what do you recommend? It's smart, polite, avoids that analysis paralysis.
Exactly. And this phrase, it's like a shortcut to authenticity. You often get a fantastic meal you wouldn't have picked yourself. Plus, you're kind of showing trust in their knowledge, right? That often leads to great conversations, maybe even some local tips you won't find in any guidebook. It builds a connection.
Okay, now for a phrase that's just, well, it's non-negotiable, isn't it? Where's the bathroom?
Yes. It seems so obvious, but honestly, when you're in a new place, sometimes the simplest things become the most stressful if you can't ask. It's universal. Don't hesitate. Don't feel awkward. Just ask confidently. Better than being uncomfortable, right?
Absolutely.
Ah.
And finally for this section, managing money. Especially now with cards and digital payments everywhere. Can I pay by card? Such a necessary question these days.
Oh, totally necessary. And the key is asking before the bill comes. Imagine finishing a great meal and then awkward silence because they only take cash and you only have a card.
Yeah, unless you fancy washing dishes for your dinner.
Exactly. So ask up front. Saves potential embarrassment all around.
All right, so we've settled in. Let's move on to actually exploring with confidence. This is about getting around, making the most of it. And the absolute go-to phrase here is, how do I get to place?
You just slot in your destination?
Yeah, museum, beach, train station, or even, something more specific like, how do I get to the nearest place with decent Wi-Fi and maybe an iced coffee?
Haha, yes. The essential. It just shows how flexible it is. Really practical for wherever you need to go.
And for planning your day, avoiding that disappointment of arriving somewhere and finding it shut, you absolutely need. What time does it open? Saves you from showing up to a closed museum or trying to get dinner at like 4 p.m. in Spain.
Yeah, that won't work well in Spain. It connects directly to respecting local rhythms, local customs, understanding when things happen, the flow of the day. It just makes your trip smoother. You maximize your time better.
Okay, train stations. They can be
Yeah.
chaotic, right? A maze of platforms.
Oh, definitely.
Which is why asking, which platform does the train leave from, is so important.
Total lifesaver. Avoids that mad dash down the wrong platform just as your train is pulling out. We've all seen that person, right?
Or been that person.
Or been that person, yeah. This phrase buys you calm, peace of mind.
And what about luggage? Those awkward times between checking out and a late flight or arriving too early. Can I leave my luggage here?
Yeah.
So useful at hotels, hostels.
Incredibly practical, especially if, like you said, your suitcase is practically big enough to need its own room. It
Yeah.
just frees you up, doesn't it? It lets you squeeze in a few more hours of exploring without dragging everything around.
Definitely. Okay, last section. Let's talk wellness and emergencies. Phrases you hope you don't need, but really should know. First one, related to food again. Is this dish spicy? Crucial for some of us.
Ah, yes, the game I like to call spice roulette.
Uh,
For some people, it's fun, a thrill. For others, it can genuinely ruin a meal. Or worse. So asking beforehand is just sensible. Ensures you enjoy your food rather than needing a gallon of milk afterwards.
Very true. Now, what if you're actually feeling unwell? The basic phrase, I'm not feeling well. Simple, direct.
Yes, and if it feels, a bit more serious than just a bit off, the vital follow-up is there a doctor nearby? Knowing that phrase can make a huge difference in getting help quickly when you're feeling vulnerable.
Okay, and the last ones. We really, really hope nobody listening ever needs these. But they are absolutely vital in a real emergency. Call the police or call an ambulance.
Yeah, you hope you never use them, but you must know them. Maybe even mentally rehearse them once. Because if you think about the bigger picture, these aren't just about asking for directions or food anymore. This is about personal safety, security. Knowing them gives you a real sense of preparedness, peace of mind, even if nothing happens.
So true. Wow. Okay. We've covered a lot there. From just, ordering food and finding your way all the way to handling really serious situations. These 15 phrases, they really do form a solid foundation, don't they, for any trip?
They absolutely do. And it's important to remember English isn't just for business meetings or academic stuff. It's the language for living life when you travel.
Sure.
Ordering amazing food, connecting with people, getting help if you need it. It's about confidence as much as vocabulary.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Well, it means that mastering even these simple phrases can open up so much more than just, practical navigation. It opens doors to making real connections, to actually enriching your travel experience wherever you are in the world. So, safe travels.
And we hope you find that real joy in global communication.